comes to live selling, you have your claims, which you've tested, and you can talk about your story. And part of that is where live selling comes in. You have the storytelling.
Yep.
But you have, which is my favorite part, is like the demonstration.
Yeah.
The hands-on.
Yes.
The
personality
behind someone being like, oh my goodness, look, I just bought these. Are amazing.
Yep.
Like, the actual reactions that aren't scripted.
Do you have a brilliant product idea but don't know where to start to get it made? Or are you looking to level up your product but afraid to take it overseas?
If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Erin, and we are
The Sourcing Gals.
your trusted guides to everything you need to know about sourcing, manufacturing, and scaling your product overseas. Whether you are just starting out or you've been making your own product for a while, we are here to help women source products overseas without the overwhelm.
In each episode, we'll share insider tips, actionable strategies, and inspiring stories to help you source more effectively, save time, and boost your profits.
Duh!
We know how hard it can be to juggle the ins and outs of product development, but don't worry, we've got your back.
So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into how you can grow your business,
Make more money.
and turn your products into profit. Welcome to
The Sourcing Gals. Now let's get started. High five.
Hi. Running a product-based business is complicated enough. Your banking shouldn't be. That's why we use Mercury. It's a free, intuitive banking platform built for entrepreneurs. No monthly fees, and get this, no wire fees ever. Plus, it integrates with QuickBooks, making bookkeeping a breeze. And the best part? Their credit card gives you 1.5% cash back with a holiday bonus of 2.5% cash back on ad spend. Terms do apply. Banking doesn't have to be complicated. Join me and thousands of other founders using Mercury. Learn more and sign up today using the link in the show notes.
Welcome back to another episode of
The Sourcing Gals.
We are here on this glorious, glorious summer day. A day in June that is about 2.5 weeks after you debuted on QVC.
Oh, yes.
And you have been on QVC 3 times
Yeah.
in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
And at one point, your product was selling around $7,000 per minute.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Per minute.
Per minute.
So I think that the idea of QVC may seem antiquated to some, but we are going to really tie this back to why this is so important right now and so timely. It's really just the rise of live selling. So whether it is Whatnot, TikTok Shop, Insta Live, QVC, Facebook Live, whatever it is, live selling is not going anywhere.
No, it's gaining momentum. And if you guys listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, and if you don't, I highly recommend you do, because he's a great marketer and his podcast is just always a fun one. Don't listen to it in the car with kids. He drops a lot of F-bombs. But he is really the one pushing this hard right now, specifically Whatnot, specifically TikTok Shop, and just saying it's the new way of selling. People want to connect with people, not just product anymore. And so for me, again, QVC happens to be an amazing platform where I don't have to go and build the audience. The audience is there.
Well, we will definitely get to talking about the audience because I think it's important. I think it's a big question people have when it comes to live selling. But let's start with your experience. What surprised you most about selling live? Like, this wasn't even recorded. This wasn't even recording a reel and editing it and then posting the reel. This was live TV.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you guys saying oh, we'll have a watch party. Jackie, you'll be there, right? And I'm like, no, guys, I'm live. I'm live behind the screen while you guys are watching it in front of the screen. So literally, I don't even know what the delay is. There might not even be one, to be honest. They don't tell you that there is. The most surprising thing, I think for me, what was surprising was that I actually wasn't all that nervous, but let me tell you why, okay? Because the anticipation was a lot, right?
Yeah,
a lot. But then you get out there and you're basically in this really big warehouse with a bunch of mini TV sets, for lack of a better term. So little vignettes.
Okay.
And you step out there and there's a bunch of cameras, but there's no people working the cameras. Okay. They're all robotically managed, or maybe someone in the back. I don't know, but they're like pre-positioned cameras with a lot of different angles. There was one guy working a boom, if you know what that is, like a kind of a camera that was on like an arm. And then you have one producer standing off to the side that basically just ushers you in and then kicks you off.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
you know, there's no audience per se. There's no, again, multiple people behind cameras that you feel like you're even performing for. You're literally there with your host, or I had 2 hosts in my first airing, and one producer off to the side, a guy working the boom, and the rest. I mean, it was crickets back there, full on crickets.
That's wild.
So it's just a little bit, you know, I don't want to say underwhelming because that's not the right word, but in a sense, you know, you're kind of feel like, oh, I'm just talking to someone next to me. And like, yeah, there's a lot of cameras in front of me, but I didn't personally.
It doesn't feel like a production.
No, I didn't feel the pressure of it. But then I walked off, I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't even know what I said. I was on live TV. Oh my God, people are texting me, right? And like, taking screenshots of me from their TV or their streaming device. So I think that was kind of different. There wasn't big like hoopla about it in a sense. And you just casually walk on and then you casually walk off. And I'm like, wait, that's it? It's done? You know, I was like looking around. But my reps, to be honest, I have these 2 amazing women who help me on the inside of QVC, and they kind of prep me. They're like, hey, just so you know, it might be like a little less production than you're thinking it is, but it's obviously still huge exposure. There's tons of eyeballs watching it. So just the actual act of being on that side of the camera was different than I thought it was going to be.
And surely when you're watching, because we were all watching, there is this buzz, there's excitement, which you think kind of comes from all of the other people who are there with you, but it certainly doesn't.
No, you have to that's your own self energy coming out there, right? And that's the host job too, is to bring the energy, bring the engagement, collab with you. So yeah, it was just, you know, you're live on TV to nobody in the room with you. So that's just a little bit of a unique thing.
This kind of reminded me, and I got to thinking, have you ever worked in retail?
No.
I was wondering like how similar it is to when you're like welcoming someone in and showing them where like the navy hoodies are. And I don't know, but how do you think this differs from traditional retail in what you say about your product, or how you are presenting your product live?
I mean, the hardest part is I had 5 minutes the first time, maybe 6. I think it was actually 6. 6 minutes the first time, 5 minutes in my second airing, and then the last airing I had 10 minutes, and they each felt very different. So when you only have, and that sounds like a lot of time, right? Oh, like 5 minutes to talk about your product. How do you talk that long? Well, remember, you have hosts that are interjecting and bringing their own anecdotes and talking about your brand before you even get on the stage, right? They're giving a little prep to the audience about it. So you have to be fairly succinct with your points. And also, when you're on something like a QVC, there are a lot of, I'll say, regulations of what I was and wasn't allowed to say. Every talking point that I mentioned had to be tested and previously tested and approved. So I had to go through fairly rigorous, they call it claims. In order to make a claim about your product, I had to go through temperature testing to say that my pajamas actually did feel cooler than comparable items. I had to go through sweat wicking testing to actually use the words sweat wicking. I had to go through odor combating testing, right? And I'm generalizing it, but I had to go through a ton of test reports in order to validate my claims that I wanted to make on air. So those claims are very important, right? Very important to explaining your product. And then also the PR plug, right? Like, where else we've been featured? How do I build trust with an audience that just met me 30 seconds ago? So where we've been shown, who are our super fans, right, about the brand that they might connect with. So there was, very key talking points that I needed to weave in and make sure they got hit. One, because I spent a ton of money to test and make sure I was able to say it. And then 2, because they were important, again, to building trust with the audience.
So when it comes to all the claims and when it comes to the PR plugs, what in the end is it that you think made people buy? And I have my own perspective as someone watching it.
Okay.
I want to know what yours is.
I mean, hopefully that I was able to connect with women actually experiencing what I was talking about, right? Like, I was a human behind product talking about a real experience of sweating at night, and that these pajamas have actually perform and are here to make your sleep better. So I don't know if it was having a personal story tied to a product story and then tied to outcomes of the product and saying what it's going to do for you. But I'm curious, what do you think was the...
I think that the hosts were just so blown away, especially in like the first taping.
Yeah.
It was their first time wearing the product.
Yes.
And
that was the other thing. They wore the product.
And they just, you could tell that they were legitimately stoked about it. And when they talked about how soft it was or how cooling it was or all of the claims that you came as the owner.
Yes.
You came into the studio and we're talking about, but they were new to the product. So their positioning on it was like, oh, wow. Oh, and of course, like they're the host, they're trying to sell things, but for whatever reason in that moment, that didn't occur to me.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a great call out. And I'll tell you, sometimes you're allowed to send them your product beforehand. Sometimes you're not. A lot of times they're not in the pajamas. So my other two hosts were not in the pajamas. However, the second host, my second show, she bought them from my first airing.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I watched it. It sounded amazing. I bought them. Jackie, they're phenomenal. I've slept in them. So she was also able to use her own personal experience, right? Because the audience members trust them.
Of course.
They know them. They watch them all the time. So where I'm coming in kind of new. So that's really interesting that that was your perspective, but it makes also total sense. And by the way, Mally, who was one of the hosts on the first Friday night show, she truly, after sleeping in them, reached out to my reps and said, can you please send me more pairs? Like, I want to do another post about this. Like, when is she coming back on? Amazing. So that's really great to not only have a product that, they said they did all the song and dance with me, but they actually love the product too.
So I think that brings us to like, when it comes to live selling, you have your claims, which you've tested, and you can talk about your story. And part of that is where live selling comes in. You have the storytelling.
Yep.
But you have, which was my favorite part, is like the demonstration.
Yeah.
The hands-on.
Yes.
The
personality
behind someone being like, oh my goodness, look, I just bought these. They're amazing.
Yep.
Like, the actual reactions that aren't scripted.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you can't pay for those, right? Like, that was just truly authentic in the moment that they were really super excited about the product. And, the other thing I think is important is that it aligned with the demo, right? And that was the whole point of QVC. Like, I always saw it as a great selling channel because I knew my 40 to 50 plus women, like, that is where some of them are, right? Not all, but some of them are. And a lot of them are, to be honest. And so if I could go and find a channel that already has the audience built in, that happens to fit my niche, and not to mention my air show was over 50 and fabulous show. It's really a menopause focused show. It was just like, you couldn't align it better if you tried.
No, you couldn't. If you're building a product-based business and finding yourself second-guessing decisions or wishing you had someone to gut check, we want you to know you don't have to do this alone.
On January 1st, we're opening the Sourcing Gals Founder Circle, our private community for product-based founders.
Inside, you'll get monthly Q&A calls with us, access to our templates, scripts, and tools, and most importantly, a community of founders building right alongside you.
It's only $27 a month, or for a limited time, $247 for the year. That's 3 months free. You can find all the details in the show notes. Hope to see you there.
So you had storytelling, you had personality, you had demonstration, and then the last thing that I think live selling does is scarcity and urgency.
Totally. And they're like, oh, your extra smalls are already sold out, know?
Yes.
And
like, oh, no. And someone's on their phone and they're like trying to order them.
Yes.
And it's just like, feels like bananas. Like, you have to get in on it.
Well, it was just funny because before I was on, the product before me, a different show, was like a face razor, basically.
Yes.
And I had more people be like, I think I need that face razor. And I'm like, this is the beauty of live selling. Like, you just get sucked in.
They were on for like an hour.
Well, okay, even more so. Like, again, people say on TikTok, like TikTok lives, like, stay on for a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes. And that sounds like, how the hell do I talk about my product for that long? It's because people will be coming and going, and they say someone needs to hear it or see it 7 times before they buy it. Well, there you go. I wonder how many of those sales for that like face razor thing came in towards the back half of the 30 minutes of selling. Like, I had, again, friends being like, I bought one, Jackie. Like, I just seemed like I needed
They
it.
were like $190 or something.
I know.
But I was like, wow, this is
Like, you might
better
need it,
than-
right?
I think I need this.
See?
Yeah. So all that to say, TikTok didn't invent this. Whatnot didn't invent this. Facebook Live didn't invent this. Like, really, the home shopping network. I mean, we can probably go back to door-to-door salesmen. I think my grandfather was a door-to-door meat salesman.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so random. But anyway, that world of showing and explaining and like showing up in person, which digital is about as in person as we get, is so important. And we're seeing a big rise to that too, because, and we've talked about just like the retail landscape before on this podcast, but like malls are struggling, but yet Gen Alphas had kind of a resurgence in wanting to go into a mall and seeing something in person, because seeing something on a website on just straight e-com isn't hitting anymore. So what's the balance of that? And it is live selling.
Yeah, and I think where live selling also comes into play is that it usually involves the founder. And there is so much more now with community, founder built. People want to know the face behind the products. They don't necessarily just want to keep giving their money to another big corporation. So I think that's what makes live selling unique, is that you can be, and even if you're not the founder, I mean, a lot of live selling is people selling other people's products, but you start to build a relationship with the seller, whoever that is, right? You get to know them, you feel their energy, you start to trust, like, and know them. And then, buying from them, if they like the product, if they trust it, then you're more inclined to do it yourself too.
Sure. And if it is truly live, then you can ask questions and they answer them.
100%.
What's this look like from the back? Like, does it tie?
Yep.
Does whatever, what have you? Which is so helpful because you don't have to get out of your bed.
Very true. Very, very
I
true.
always hear people talking about like the stuff they buy on TikTok shop like at night.
Have you ever bought anything on TikTok Shop?
I don't think I have.
I haven't either.
But like I also go to bed super early and don't do a ton of social media.
Yeah, fair.
But I have been thinking a lot about selling my product live. And we'll get into that in a little bit. I have a kind of an anecdote for that. But I think this is valuable for us. Like we wanted to highlight you in your story and talk about the power of live selling. But also, I think this is very powerful for new product founders because you don't have to have a QVC sized audience.
Correct.
You can just have a couple people and you don't have to have a product yet.
Correct.
You can actually go live and talk about your product before you launch. And not only can you, but we wholeheartedly believe that you should.
Yes.
We have had several founders we work with that we encourage to go live, get on social, talk about their product, answer questions about even their thought process in the design or the coloration, because it all has intent behind it. And all of that intent does help bring that potential consumer along for your ride. And in the end, when you do launch, you have a built-in audience.
Built-in audience. I mean, and already, again, people that know, like, and trust you already and that feel invested in your journey. Right? Like they want to be a part. They want to see what this product is that's coming out. They've seen the struggle. They've seen how many hours you've poured into this journey of your product and getting it launched and all the things. And so they're just invested. So even if they don't even want the product for themselves, they're probably going to buy it for somebody else.
For somebody they know. They have a gift and it's going to be top of mind.
Yep.
Like one of our founders we work with has a baby product, which she's not, I don't think, talked about like very publicly yet or launched, so to speak. But she talks on her social a lot about the pitch competitions that she goes to and the type of like path she's taking in terms of bootstrapping. And, she's going to launch to a group of people who are just like with bated breath want to buy whatever she has.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's the power of being like a founder-led business is how long this journey has taken you probably or might still take you. but don't be afraid. Like, oh, well, if I go on too soon, like they're gonna be over me,
or they're gonna see the messy middle.
Yeah, and like
people love that.
They love it.
People love seeing behind.
Love.
Like, the
they want to vote, and also, we've talked about this before. Like, use that audience to help you make those final decisions. Because probably in that last couple months before launch, you probably do have some pretty big decisions to make. Your packaging, maybe it's your final colors, maybe it's how many choices, or your size offering, like all those types of final decisions in your production before you place that purchase order, or even on the back end and the packaging and the marketing, right? All the different things, like let them be a part of it. Let them have a vote, let them have a say, because at the end of the day, they are your customer.
They absolutely are. And you can talk about, like you said, product development, color selection, packaging. Even if you go to your factory and you see your runs, or you see your packaging being printed, like, so the behind the scenes and like how it's made are just like such great content. So if you're out there and you're in the thick of it, do not squander this time. Use it and talk live on social about your journey.
And I think it could also be about your mistakes. I mean, some of my most highly engaged Instagram posts I've made were like the 5 most expensive mistakes I made. We're actually coming out with one. We were working on it yesterday. It was like the 3 most expensive mistakes I've made so far in 2026. And it's like people want to see that side of it too, right?
Well, yeah, it makes you feel human.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there was one post where I was like crying, like literally crying. And I mean, the flood of, and it wasn't like I wasn't trying to get pity. It was just like, this is also real, right? Like, I talk a lot about the wins of the business, but like, there's also shit that goes on, and there's hard decisions, and there's mistakes all the time that I'm still making. So I don't want my followers to also think, oh, everything's rainbows and butterflies. Like, no, it's a lot of fucking work, and there's a lot of lost revenue also, but like, that's okay. Like, that makes me human, makes it part of the journey. And also, if someone else is interested in trying it, I want them to know, like, don't think every day is going to be a win.
Right. I do think that happens a lot with people who we work with. It's like, it is this very polished version of what entrepreneurship looks like, which isn't necessarily real. I mean, we just talked about this. I was like up at 1:30 last night because I couldn't sleep. My eye was twitching. I like had to get some work done because it was just like my factories were up. Like, I had to be, I just, your brain doesn't kind of shut off. And when it does, it's probably at the wrong time. But all that to say that we don't talk about that side of things a lot, but that is really what engages people and humanizes you and your brand.
And I think something else you mentioned, before we were talking about prepping for this podcast, I was like, oh gosh, please don't go back and look at my first Instagram post. I mean, I remember, like, I remember where I was sitting, Bailey had little cards for me.
Oh my goodness.
And, trying to film me, but I was like, don't look like you're reading, but look at the camera. I mean, it was so forced. But
think of how far you've come.
That's what I mean. Like, my point was like, who cares, Jack? And like, I don't care at this point, but my point is, I had to start somewhere, and you have to start somewhere, and it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to be pretty, and it shouldn't be in the beginning, guys. Like, unless you're a professional. I mean, the amount of times I posted on social media of myself before I launched this business, I mean, basically zero. My Instagram feed was my kids, like, always behind the camera. So getting in front was super uncomfortable for me.
But you are such a natural, like, I know you're saying you're not, but I was talking to someone the other day about just how, like, making the product is my strong suit. Making it and delivering it, like, ta-da, it's here. Like, that's my strong suit. Selling it, not. But you just, like, you hustle so hard, and you believe in your product, and you're out there, and you put yourself out there, and you just, like, go down every single path that is like viable, and it's paid off like so huge. So anyway, I really respect that about your journey, and I love that people get to see it as well. But I think talking about being in front of the camera, starting from scratch, you don't have to have a big audience, but if you're consistent, you will.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a woman named Colleen who is in one of my mastermind groups, and she, started posting on TikTok Live. Is that what they call it? TikTok Live?
Yeah.
Just every morning. I think she calls it like Coffee with Colleen.
Oh, yeah.
Every morning at like 6 a.m. And it's about entrepreneurship in your 60s, kind of as like a like second act entrepreneurship. And she's like, there were 2 people there the first day and they left. She's like, but she did it for like 150 days in a row or something, and got to the point where she was just like, had this fervent following.
It's amazing.
But even if you don't, and this is where I was going to talk about my little product goal thing, even if you don't, I was working on a summer kind of like goal for my own product-based business and how to ramp up some sales. And I was like, you know what? My goal for the month of July is to do $10,000 in business. And I'm, really pining over how I'm going to get this done. And I'm going to start doing some lives, and I'm going to like talk about live selling. I'm going to go in physically to some boutiques and talk about the product.
Amazing.
But then when I got out my actual little calculator, do you know that's only 50 pieces that I have to sell?
No, I don't know if that math's right.
Yes.
What?
Each piece is like $200.
Wow.
That's $10,000.
Okay.
So I was like, well, shit. I don't need 5,000 people to buy it.
No.
I need 50.
Yes.
And hit my goals. So it's like you put all this pressure on yourself because you think like, I have to be in front of a QVC size audience. I have to have all these followers. I have to do all these things. Well, the beauty of TikTok Live is that people come and watch it who aren't your followers.
Yes.
Which is benefit number 1.
Yes.
Benefit number 2, you don't know them.
Yep. Yep.
And benefit from year 3, you probably don't actually need as many people to buy in as what you're thinking.
I mean, I remember TikTok is on my 2026 vision board, and it's funny, I'm still hemming and hawing over it, which I shouldn't be, but it's just, it's another channel. It's another energy pull.
Maybe it's Facebook Live based on your demo.
But
for me, maybe too, as well.
I'll tell you, point being is I did go live on TikTok just for fun. It was a while ago. I was just sitting in my basement, and I was like, I had all my new inventory arrive, and I was like, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to try it and see. When I finished it, I think I probably had about 450 people see it. Now, I was on for like 30 minutes. I heard Gary Vee says, just get on and just keep talking. Like, just keep talking. And people are going to come, and we can do that. People are going to come, they're going to leave, they're going to come, they're going to leave, and you just keep talking. So I went through every single one of my styles. I talked about it. I was wearing one, and I had nowhere to send them to go purchase it except for my website. And actually, TikTok Shop doesn't like you to do that. They want you to buy it on TikTok. So we had to set up our TikTok shop. But my point was 400 and some people randomly came to my live, and it cost me $0.
Wow.
By the way, to go online, right?
Okay, fine, I'm going to do that in July.
It took my time. I'm going to force you. I'm going to say you're going to go on this week, because guess what? You have product.
I know, but don't I need to set up TikTok Live?
TikTok Shop. It'll take you like
Shop.
a hot minute.
Okay,
Claude will do it for you. Okay.
And I do have Shopify.
Claude will do it for you. Yes. It might take you in 30 minutes.
Okay, you guys are hearing this real time. I'm committing. I'm going to go on TikTok Live this week.
Yes. And set up your shop.
Set up my TikTok shop.
Okay, and then you're going to report back.
It's not a Twitter shop.
It's not a Twitter shop.
I call TikTok Twitter all the time.
All the time. It's okay.
Okay.
True millennial.
Well, okay. So back to the live selling. You don't need a huge audience. You can do it in a week, which is what I'm going to do.
Which, by the way, my Piper audience on TikTok is embarrassing, you guys. I might have 100 followers on TikTok. So when I say that I had 400 eyeballs, like, they weren't my followers, because I don't have any followers on TikTok. It's just not a channel that we've been on. That's my point. You don't need followers to go on TikTok Live.
Neither were your QVC people.
No, totally.
Well, some of us, we had a watch party after all.
I love that.
After all. But okay, so how can founders get started live selling today? We've gone through some of this.
Yeah, I mean, I truly think the true OG version is just making some reels with yourself talking. And if that's the way to start, because you can edit it a little bit and then curate it. And
because I honestly am wondering if that is worse for me, because I can edit it. And if I
you're going on live,
I just have to live with it.
No, you have to go live. And guess what? It then goes away. You can save it if you want, and then use it as content, by the way. They let you save it down, and then you can make reels out of your live if you so want. But guess what? When it's over, it's over. It doesn't have to, it's not going to sit in your feed.
Okay.
No, again, you just said it's strangers anyways. Like, no. So if you want to rip the Band-Aid off, again, you need no product to sell to go live, by the way. You don't have to sell. You can just be like, hey, this is my name. This is my brand. If you like what I'm talking
If
about.
you're watching on YouTube, you can see how visibly uncomfortable I am right now.
She's like pulling back in her chair. But my point is, you can also build a following, is my point, by going on live. You don't have to have a product yet to sell to do it. But if creating a reel with yourself, okay, this is the thing. It's not someone else. It's yourself talking. Is the way to start. Okay, cool. But then I implore you all to just grab on. You can do an Instagram live too, by the way. You know, like you could do it on all the channels have it now. And you just, I will say the fun part was people will ask you questions. They will engage with you. And I did have a couple IG lives where they did that, you know, and people were asking questions like, oh, hey, Jackie, it's good to see you, whatever. But you just have to start. It's going to be so awkward and so uncomfortable. And I can see your face you're making these faces, but I'm telling you every time I'm like, oh, okay, like great. And by the way, when you sell one unit, you're going to be like, oh shit, okay.
And we do that every day.
That was 10 minutes worth my time. Like, yeah girl, like, go, you know what I mean? So all you have to do is start to see the fruits of your labor. Or if you're someone new without a product to sell, you get a follower and 2 followers and 3 followers. And you realize that cost you nothing except your time.
Okay, guys, if she hasn't convinced me, then, or if she hasn't convinced you or me, I don't know where I'm going with that. But I think our biggest takeaway is that you should do it. It's immediately available.
Yep.
It drives connection.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It shows demonstration. It allows you to answer questions. It grows your following. All of these things.
And I think, you know, something you just mentioned this, Erin, what I should do next, before I really determine if I want to do the whole live thing, is I should go live on each channel and test it out. See where you get the most engagement. See where you get the most audience. I think what's unique about TikTok is it links right to a shop, right to commerce, right? So it's like it's a lot easier conversion path on TikTok. IG, you have a link. It's just a little bit different though, right?
I'm sure Claude can help us figure that out.
Yeah. But I have a feeling, I think that's what makes TikTok so seamless, is that it's just like super integrated, kind of like a QVC, where it's like you see it live, you click on the button, you shop it, you go, you check out, boom, 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 done. Right. So, but yeah, you can still build a following by going live on all your channels, is my point. Just like Colleen did with coffee with Colleen every morning. Yeah. She wasn't selling anything. She was building a following by going live every morning.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'm committing. You guys are hearing it right here. Except for, this podcast is going to go live, like not this week that we're in. So does that give me an extra week?
No, I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay. All right. So I think our biggest takeaway is the power of live launching. Like, get out there, do it, even if you don't have a product yet, or even like me, if you have product and you just need to sell more, haven't been putting enough, chutzpah toward the marketing, then we can do it.
Yeah. And I also think what's interesting, now you're kind of inspiring me a little bit. Right now, I am quite, in a good way, sold out on my website, which is exciting. Fabulous. I'm waiting on a big reorder to come in, but I do own some things, is my point. So my angle would be going live with the things I still own.
Yes.
Right? And pushing, and it's my best-selling styles that I still own, which is great. I own the most inventory in them. So it's like, for a while, I think I was pulling back because I'm like, oh, my website's not full. I'm so sold out. People have to pre-order, which is...
No, again, the scarcity, the urgency.
Totally. So it's like easy for me to now take that and make that a marketing angle and say, hey guys, I've got a lot of items sold out, but our best-selling style, no one's gonna know the difference, just got back in stock. So get it now before it's gone again, right? And push what you do have, is my point. You don't have to sell everything. Sell what you have.
And you don't have to just talk the whole time. You can show.
Yes.
Because, people don't buy just because they've seen it.
Oh, you're going to be wearing your necklace. Yeah, you're going to have it on a little mannequin form and holding it up and going up to the camera and back and have a cute aesthetic, because your whole house is aesthetic anyways. But set it up like a little mini QVC, like make your little stage, get a table out, whatever that looks like for your brand or for you, or it can be as casual as sitting on a chair, if you're just talking with someone or at your coffee table with your coffee. So it doesn't have to be, again, does not need to be perfect, but
Coffee. I'm going to have to take a shot of tequila before I do this.
yes, please. But yeah, and let it be messy. Let it be messy. We say this all the time. You just got to start.
Yeah.
You just got to start. Don't be afraid. You're only going to get better at it. And I can speak from experience. Again, if you want to be like, oh yeah, Jackie, whatever, yours were back. Scroll to the beginning of my Instagram, guys. You're going to be like, oh yeah, she was a little awkward.
No, they're not bad at all.
No, I'm just saying in the beginning, they weren't that great, but that's okay. It's okay. Like I had to start somewhere. And I still, every time I go on, this is my third airing on QVC. The last one, I was like, damn, I nailed that one. It's like you learn and you get better. And I'm going to keep getting better because I'm going to be going back on QVC.
And then one thing I forgot to say earlier, but I wanted to mention is that it has been maybe 5 years since I first saw. Do you remember when I came back from that trip to Seoul and I was in this jewelry store with a bunch of wholesale jewelry? And I saw so many women with their tripods set up, their ring lights, live selling in the store. And they're just going from piece to piece.
Yeah.
And they're selling. And I remember thinking this is the most bizarre happening. But then I never forgot it. And I took it back with me as like, wow, you can just hop online and sell something like live.
You want to know where else I see it too, which is really fun? We go to Magic every year, right? Yes. So it's coming up in August. So on the buying side of Magic, not the sourcing side, there's a ton of boutique owners there. Mm-hmm. They will go live they will email and text and all their customers. Hey, I'm going to be live. Vote. Tell me what you want. And they will literally go live. They get their ring lights out and everything. And they're just holding up before they even purchase the buy.
Right.
They're saying, which dress do you love? Which color do you want me to get? And like, again, that audience participation, instant feedback for that owner to not buy the blue dress, buy the pink dress because everyone loves the pink dress, right? It's happening right there live at the show.
And how perfect to do that before you launch. And
I know.
You are right aligned with your...
Yeah. So there's so many different ways you can leverage this live selling piece. And again, don't wait for perfection. Please
don't wait for QVC to come knocking on your door like they did for Jackie.
Well, I knocked on their door, to be fair. But yeah, you don't need a QVC. Now, I will also tell you, when you practice and you start doing it on your own channel, then when you do get a QVC, I mean, if QVC had come to me right when I launched, my presentation would have looked very different.
Yeah.
Truly, it would have. It would have. I wouldn't have been as able to speak about my brand as authentically as I can today because I've been talking about it every fucking day for 2 years on social media.
Well, that's another perk.
So I'm just saying, like, it also preps you for when the big opportunity comes, when the podcast reach outs come. People say, we'd love to have you on our podcast. We'd love to have you come speak. Like, every time you're talking about your brand and you can just get over the imposter syndrome and over the ego and blah, 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 and just do the damn thing, it's just going to make you better prepared for the big pops.
For goodness sakes, even just being at a party and someone being like, tell me about your product.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and back to our founder who's done these pitch competitions. I mean, she's like, they're getting easier. The first one was terrifying, I'm sure, and now she's like, no, I got this. And now there's a third one coming up. And she's like, yep, I've learned each time. She's like, I've learned this. I've gotten feedback every time.
And this is how she's funding
her order.
Run.
Yeah. So there's wins to all of it in many ways. So get out there. We want to see your face. We want to see your product.
I've been challenged. You've been challenged.
Yes. Okay. We're going to report back.
How about this? In the podcast, if you are going to do this challenge with me,
ooh,
if you are going to go live in July, I want you to comment. We will hold you accountable.
Go live in July.
Go live in July.
Look at that. Okay, we got a whole campaign now.
All right.
We're doing it. And hey, founder circles, you better be ready. You're all getting challenged for those of us in our private community, of Facebook community. We're
go live in July. Ooh,
yep.
Michael's going to be great at this.
Yes. Oh, cannot wait to watch Michael's. Okay, this is going to be, and then we'll all come back. We'll do a separate episode. How about that? In August with our go live in July feedback.
Wow. This was all just totally on the fly, and I love it.
I love it. We'll get your feedback, mine, and then we'll get our founder feedback.
Awesome. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, so good.
Up top.
High five. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this riveting and just like unfolding episode of
The Sourcing Gals.
We'll see you next time.